Welcome to the Killshot Tournament Season 1, and I'm your host, Longshot.
And I am Kaleido.
And we're going to be casting this 1v1 between Changalishis and Dwango. But first off, from our sponsors here, Nerd Reactor. Check them out at nerdreactor.com. They were generous enough to actually give us the Jim Raynor figurine that is worth $100. So definitely big ups to our sponsors. We do really appreciate that. And let's get this game started. So right now we have Dwango and Changalishis. Changalishis is going to be spawning at the top left-hand position, and Dwango is going to be spawning at the top right-hand position. This map is going to be Shakira's Plateau. This is a very large macro-style map, so I think we're going to have a pretty long game here.
Absolutely. Not only does this map generally tend to favor a lot of longer macro games, but this is a TVT, which inherently creates long macro games because of siege tank lines, because of various other mechanics in Terran, where it's very easy to have a defender's advantage and very, very difficult to break a siege tank line. And not only that, but in these spawn positions, it's actually very easy for these players to just go down the line and take these 4 bases just all the way down and then completely divide the map, which turns it into like the most hardcore macro game you can have, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, I completely agree. I mean, and the fact that their spawns are so close to each other, and it's easily defended, even though this has a very large size map or ramp. They have siege tanks which can pummel anything that comes near it or up that ramp. So, but right now, Changalishis is getting a full scout on Dwango, and Dwango still is searching for Changalishis' base, but I think he's going to be able to get it before he throws down the supply. Oh, no.
Oh, he's not going to get in here, and he's not going to see anything.
No, so he's going to be delayed in seeing the timing of the orbital command, how much gas he's got. He may need to use a scan, but that's not optimal for him. But you know what the beauty of Dwango is that he gets his orbital command very early.
Yeah, well, it's actually exactly on time. We're seeing here, Changalishis has continually, because he did this last game too, he gets his orbital a little bit later, which I think is kind of a mistake, because you want it on 15. You want it right when your second supply depot is finished, basically. So Changalishis' timing a little bit off, but he still, I would say, has a little bit better macro overall than Dwango does. So we're gonna have to see if he can pull out an advantage, but he's definitely like a tiny bit behind on the timing here.
Yeah, and we can see that he's already got the double gas down, so he may be going for a very high-tech play right now, whereas Dwango, he is finally going to be getting that second gas, but he was stocking up a lot of minerals at this time, so he may be going for more bio, or even maybe just doing a 1-1-1 build. Who knows?
Right, I wouldn't mind seeing an early expo out of Dwango here. I mean, he's actually in a pretty good position to do it. Doesn't look like he's going to do that because he is building a factory, which generally means you're not going to be taking an earlier expo. You're going to get your tech up before you expo, which is fine. But Changalishis' factory is actually way faster here, so this whole build is a little bit behind.
But you can see that Dwango does throw down the scan, and Changalishis is going to be putting down that starport like farther away from the center of his base, so that he's kind of hiding it, and he hit it again. So we're going to see the same strategy from Changalishis from last game. Hopefully that Dwango is going to be able to defend this, but he does have these 2 Marines out on the outskirts of his base. Going to be trying to prevent from any type of drops that are going to be happening.
Absolutely. You can even see just the little adjustments. I mean, this is actually phenomenal because most people can't adjust their play immediately. It's a very difficult thing to look at a critical mistake that you made and immediately in the next game fix it entirely. But he's clearly addressed it here. He clearly was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I need to defend against drops in a close air position, which this is technically a close air position. And he just adjusted it immediately. He's like, I'm just going to rally these Marines here. And it's actually like really, really good because we don't know yet, though we do see a medevac coming out for Changalishis here. We don't know if he's going to go for the same strategy, but if he tries to do this drop again, I don't think it's going to pan out the way he wants it to.
Yeah, especially with the amount of Marines that are on that line there. I mean, Changalishis does scan his base, and you know, he's seeing this factory and also the engineering bay, so he may think like, all right, you know, I may have to contend with a few missile turrets, but I don't think that he's going to be ready for all of these Marines out on like this ledge here.
Absolutely, he's not going to be at all. I mean, if he's not paying 100% attention, he could easily fly his drop over all these guys and actually lose tons and tons of siege tanks if he decides to go for this drop again. But we are seeing quite literally the exact same build and the exact same siege timing, so it really wouldn't surprise me if he goes for the same exact move once again.
Yeah, here goes the 2 tanks with like the, was that, 8 Marines? Yeah, 8 Marines hunkered down and in the pipe. That's right. Here goes these medevacs, and these medevacs are just going to be welcomed by these 6 Marines.
Yeah, there is actually a welcoming party for this arrival here. We're going to see.
Oh, man. What?
Oh, but he spots the Marines immediately.
Ooh.
Very nice reflex by Changalishis here.
Yeah, but now he's
oh,
gonna
but
be trying to find
Dwango saw this drop too. I mean, he's gonna start moving around these Marines a little bit. He's selecting like little groups of Marines. I actually really like this. He's selecting just 3 Marines, just moving them so he can spread them out a little bit and get more coverage for this drop, and that's actually so sick.
Yeah, that's beautiful, you know, placement by Dwango. The fact that he is, you know, taking a lesson from the last game and really, you know, putting it to use. But as you can see, though, like Dwango's really playing very defensive, putting down 2 bunkers as well at the front. But you know, I think
absolutely he is already mining from the space. Though Changalishis is not going to give up on this drop. He is going to drop right in the base here.
Yeah, but with those with these siege tanks right here, it's going to be bad news for them because they're going to be pummeled down. And look at that. I mean, already one of those siege tanks goes down. The other siege tank goes up, and oh, so many Marines being taken out. Was that like 2 or 3 of them?
Yeah, that was actually a huge loss for
wow.
Changalishis there.
He lost a siege tank and 4 Marines. That's quite a win for Dwango there. I mean,
that is a huge loss considering Dwango lost almost nothing. He did lose a substantial amount of mining time here, but just the pure fact that he has this expo up way before Changalishis has even done building his, he's way ahead. I mean, just period is way ahead here. He is overcommitting to these turrets a little bit. He's building a lot of turrets around his base, which I don't quite agree with. You don't need that many. You need 1 for spotting, really, on each corner, but it's not a bad thing because he is ahead.
Yeah, he is ahead, and the fact that he's got already his expo timing up, and look how many mules just get thrown down. I mean, that's beautiful for him. Now his income is just going to skyrocket. Look at that. Like 1,400 over 800 according to Changalishis. They both have the same harvester count, but unfortunately, you know, the fact that Dwango got his expo up timing so early was really giving him the advantage economically, but unfortunately he's supply blocked right now.
Absolutely, I noticed that too. He's building 3 supply depots, which is really not optimal, you know, but it's sort of understandable. He did get really distracted and he was microing those Marines pretty well, so forgivable, but you know, next time probably don't let that happen, man. It's not good.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, you know, I'm sure that all of the pro players have the APMs for you know, dealing with attack and then building supply depots while getting attacked, but unfortunately us players that are in the gold leagues, I'm a gold player myself, but I can't do that type of stuff, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Multitasking is one of the hardest parts of this game, obviously. So.
Definitely.
But we do see Dwango only has 2 guys in gas in his main, which is kind of a little mistake here. He is going to start wondering why his gas isn't where it needs to be when his production ramps up, but it should be okay. He's building a 3rd base, though, in his main here. Interesting. He really wants to make this game go long, man.
Well, you know, I mean, I guess you could say Dwango really wants to be able to make it count, you know, where he wants to solidify a win and make it legit in a sense of, you know, let me just drop in your base and I get a free win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he definitely wants to show like, hey, look, man, like, okay, you got your drop off, you got your early aggression and it worked, but if you play me in a macro game, I'm actually going to out expand you get my orbital timings way faster than you, and build more units and actually totally overrun you. So this is actually amazing.
I completely agree, and the production of Changalishis, though, I mean, you can tell by just looking at the production tab that he is just like a macro player in top form, honestly, because even though Changalishis lost quite a bit in the beginning of this game, he is still out macroing Dwango, even though Dwango does have his third base, ramping up like right now. He's already finished it, and now he should be moving it out.
Absolutely. We do see, yeah, actually, Changalishis doesn't miss a lot of his building timings here. Like, most of these buildings are making stuff, which is pretty awesome. But I'm a little curious what he plans on doing here. He's kind of like not committing to anything. He built a few Vikings and then stopped using his starport. He loaded up a couple Marines in this drop here, but it doesn't really look like, well, it does look like he's gonna try to go into this base again, but there's a Viking and turrets patrolling this area, so I don't think this is a good idea at all.
Yeah, he's no drop shall pass. Like,
yeah, this is pretty drop proof at this point. I think definitely learned. Oh, the Viking sees it.
Yeah, Changalishis is gonna lose all.
Oh, is he still gonna go for it?
Oh my God!
He's gonna get 2 up. Oh, he only dropped like 3 Marines.
Oh,
but they're still gonna do a substantial amount of damage here. He's not reacting with these Marines that are here.
Oh, there goes like 1, like 2, 3. Oh, well, they took out 3 SCVs, but yeah, I mean, the fact that
absolutely was not worth it. I mean, it was absolutely not worth it to do that.
Awesome. Oh, but look at the doom drop from Dwango, dude. He's like, fine, you want to drop in my base? I'm gonna do a doom drop in your base, cause he's like, you throw jabs, I throw straight like TKOs, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at the drop.
Yeah.
The drop goes down. He throws up the siege tanks. Changalishis is just running for his life right now with all of his SCVs, and like he's not reacting at all. He's finally pulling off the Vikings, and everything's just caught because of the building placement, and the SCVs are like holding up everything. But unfortunately, right now he's going to be able to clean this up, but he's going to be losing so much, and the damage that it caused Changalishis. I mean, oh man, look at that! Just top form by Dwango.
That was tremendous.
Impressive.
Dwango actually did lose more in that engagement, and that's actually like pretty bad. He is like, well, actually, no, I think he did pretty well there. I mean, he killed 43 units for Changalishis 33. So that's not a terrible drop. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. Obviously, like once the whole army showed up, he had plenty of time to lift and leave. He did a substantial amount of damage. He did kill the gas and a bunch of depots. Like, really, that's all you need. You want to displace, like when you're doing drops in TVT, you want to displace the Terran's army. That's really the only point. So you can attack the front, right? You want to clear up the front line so you can do some attacks. So he definitely should have lifted and then gone to the front and dropped again, and then that would have been a very, very powerful push.
Yeah, but honestly though, the fact that he found a weakness in Changalishis' base and abused it thoroughly, and now Changalishis is like, oh, he's now in a place where he's like, okay, you got into my base, you were able to take out a few buildings, but now, right now, I mean, Dwango does have his third up. He's mining with all of the mules here, and he's taking the center of the map. He's got map control right now, and it's just right in his favor to really either do a, hold it down and just keep on macroing.
Yeah, he does have map control, and he does have positional control, definitely, in this game. I mean, there's pretty much no push that can break this huge siege tank line here. And Changalishis still has his whole army up on his second base here, but he is taking his third, and he is loading up more Marines to go poke around here. So we're gonna have to see.
Yeah, this one medevac is actually going to be going to the south and possibly going to be going around. But interesting enough, Dwango, I don't know how he catches wind of this or whatever, but he decides to move his third away from where he was mining originally and moves it to a closer position for him to defend it. And I like this play a little bit.
I do not at all.